What I can say is that really we have been able to save quite a number of lives, and I'm glad that even at this conference I'm seeing WOFAC products, people that came through WOFAC, and we have empowered them and they have moved on with their lives, they have gotten married, they have gone back to school, and that really makes me happy. The challenge we have right now is funding for HIV. You remember many years we used to have like group meetings where we would have women coming together and just share their experiences and get information on how they can live positively with HIV. We don't have that right now. We just have programs that, you are doing this project and it comes to an end, and then comes another project. It's either adolescents and young people, it's about overseas, paying school fees and buying uniforms, and it's no longer that communal coming together as women living with HIV and just sharing your experiences. That is something that really helped a lot of us, and I think we should continue embracing that, but funding is a barrier. It's important to strengthen the groups of women or networks of women living with HIV, because even from the statistics and from the presentations we have seen that actually women are affected more, and women are easy to be put together to actually fight the scourge, and they get well with them. They are able to get into the communities, the very, very low communities, and at the local level, to ensure that they actually get out, bring out things that affect women and living with HIV at the community. We use women currently. We at WOFAC, what we do, we are getting pregnant women who are HIV, and we also want to ensure that their children don't get infected when they give birth. So we actually refer them to the health facility, and we are doing this as community. The health facility will not be able to get somebody to go into the community to look for these people. So we go up to the very grassroots to ensure that actually we don't want any children infected by HIV, especially once we have referred them to the health facility. We need to do things differently. When I talk to young people, always they say, you did your things, you older people, you did your things differently, and you don't expect us to do that. So I think we need to come up with very innovative projects that young people like, because they want to relate with things that make them happy. We cannot tell them to do like say, okay, go to the group therapy that we used to go and cry and say, oh, my husband died and things. No, they want things that are very innovative, things that go well with them, things that they like. So we really have to follow their liking, so that we are able to come up with programs that support young people. And there also needs to be a lot of mentorship, and probably it should be through the middle age of younger people, not young, slightly older people living with HIV, because there needs to be that transition, and of course make other young people champions to be able to support their peers too. Yeah. For older women to support the young generation, we really just need to continue giving them education, letting them know that you also pass through that process, and that they have to take their medication the way it's required, and just let them know that HIV is not a death sentence, because they can see some of us who have it. And for me, I usually use my story to tell younger people that actually you can live as long as you want and see your grandchildren. Because, for instance, I actually went back to the university. I had not gone to university before. I got infected, and so I actually did my undergrad. I did my master's, not because I want to get promotion or something, but I want those young people to see that actually it's not a death sentence, and you can continue with your life normally as any other person. So for us older people, there are things that we can do to support this, and also for them to see that actually you can move on with your life as a young person and continue with it. Not necessarily talking about your HIV status on TV, or on social media, but just being able to get that information and coping with it. I am very happy to advocate to donors to actually put more funding to women movements. But of course, we are seeing also younger generation, so it's important that we include everybody else, because people will get tired of seeing my face every day. It is Dorothy again. But if they see different faces also, it helps them, because there's that transitioning of women. So we need to have a mix of all those women together so that we can push the relevant authorities to support the women networks. I can tell you that by the time I got the award, I was really, really down. Maybe I didn't show it, but I really got motivated that actually somebody somewhere thought about me and gave me this award. So I told myself that since my work is being appreciated, and as much as I have issues that are affecting me as an individual, I think I'll move on, because that recognition shows that there is actually an impact in the work that I do. And I can tell you for free that right now, from the time I got that award, I was, I think I was energized. I was energized to continue doing my work, to continue doing what I know best, to continue supporting women, and also to continue mentoring the young people to be able to continue living with their lives. And I don't think I want to stop it there, because there is always somebody in need of getting that support from HIV. And as much as I'm saying I'm facing out of the movement because of my age and the younger people are coming, but there's always that need. Somebody will still call, and you cannot close them out and say, no, I'm not going to support. I will continue doing that, but then make sure that we mentor the younger people to also do that. But I really, that Fears Award, it really lifted my spirits, I can tell you for free. It's important to have, if we want to have the young people get the leadership, we need to involve them. Let us identify some strong young people who can speak out and who can be peers to others, so that they also know that they are appreciated in the HIV space. And I think that way they will be able to support the others as peers, and also come up with at least a group of leaders that can, lead the next generation. One of them told me, no, I cannot do it because I'm under the university, so I will be stigmatized. So I can only do it, I can only do it not openly, but wherever there is no coverage, I'm able to talk about it. So I think there's still a lot of learning from the older people, and of course some have not even disclosed to their parents, to their boyfriends, and so it becomes really difficult for them. But I'm sure even us, it was not very easy for us to come out, but we can get a few young people that we can work with, we can mentor, we can support them, even in terms of disclosure to their relatives. And of course, for instance, in the university, it means that also we have to work with those universities to make sure that we do destigmatize HIV at the facilities, at the institutions, so that these young people feel comfortable and they can become peers of others, because there are people who are infected with HIV at the university, so they can really help those people, the young people at the university, especially the students. For me, disclosure was to help those others. For that young person, are you disclosing because you want to support somebody? Are you disclosing because you have been forced to disclose, which you don't want to do? But it is a process. It takes long. Even for us, it took long. I got infected when I was, I think, in my 30s. And it was not easy for me to disclose. So it is a long process. But it goes step by step until they understand that sometimes it is important for a few of us to disclose, so that we can help that other generation. The main thing is to help those other persons, because already probably yourself you have already been supported. But how can you sacrifice so that you are able to even support those other young people who cannot come out and talk about their HIV status? don't let it sleep, because there's a purpose for you to start the FIAS movement or award. And as I've told you, it really lifted my spirit. Nobody knew what I was going through, but it did lift my spirit. So I'm sure there are other people outside there also who are suffering, and other people who also need to be appreciated. There are women in the community who are doing a lot of work, but nobody sees what they do. So I'm sure that is a motivation for these young people, but probably we need to probably make sure that we have bigger numbers, and I know funding is a problem, so we can go ahead and advocate and lobby the donors to support this process, because it is something worthwhile. Yeah.